Good day. Today we're going to go ahead and we're going to try a new method for installing PyCharm on the Raspberry Pi. Well, it's not completely new, it's just a little bit different. So we're going to do a new fix for the terminal not working. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my Raspberry Pi that's sitting back here, and we will go ahead and get PyCharm installed on there, get terminal working, and we'll go from there. And that will be today's episode, and next week we will be diving into using PyCharm to actually program on the Raspberry Pi. So over the next few weeks here we'll do some simple projects just so you can get the understanding of how to use PyCharm. Now I won't be going into all the different how-tos of it all, but it's definitely going to get you going in the right direction and how to program your Raspberry Pi to be using PyCharm with it. So we'll mainly be covering the GPIO on the Raspberry Pi. This is going to be the one thing we want to do the most, to be able to program and get information to and from the GPIO ports. That way we can have a weather station, we can have whatever, and we can actually be able to build something fun instead of just a GUI on our desktop that displays our CPU and RAM usage, which we might even do, and then we'll take something like that and import it into an output on the GPIO. But for now, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we have our VNC viewer up here. We are on the other Raspberry Pi now. What I'm gonna do is let's bring up PyCharm. And we'll go to JetBrains. We're just going to go to the downloads here, and it should give us an option here of what we want to download. So we really want to make sure we grab the Community Edition one. You can most certainly use whatever you want, but I'm going to be using the community version. I know it works with this. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to wait for that to download, and then we will go ahead, get that extracted. And this is the same install method that I've shown a few times before, and this is going to be the only part that probably stays about the same going forward. And then we will try out this new fix for the terminal not working and see how much easier it is to do than the method prior. So while this is downloading, I might as well actually bring up that page. utrack.jetbrains.com/issue idea dash 237956. And this should bring me into the post I saw this fix on, because I'm always looking for other ways that we can actually make this quicker and easier. Because I do enjoy using PyCharm, it's nice to have all the features available to us at our disposal when we go to use it. Now you really don't need terminal working to be able to do everything. You can just, Control Alt T on your keyboard, bring it up, rebuild your stuff in PyCharm, and you'll be good to go. So this is the page here. I will have a link to this as well as to the downloads on JetBrains there for PyCharm. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here, and this Martin guy here, right here. So he's got a couple of fixes right here and I've read through what he did. There's a text file here for those interested. It is on the on this page as well. But I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to get that downloaded now. So we have that. Okay, so it looks like our PyCharm is done installing. So I'm just going to go to Show in Folder, and I'm going to extract here. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and extract the patch as well once PyCharm is done. So once again, we are going to be installing this into our opt folder like we did before. And I'll skip forward a little bit here. Alright, so we just finished up here. So I'm just going to take these guys here. Move them to the trash. I do have them saved on another Raspberry Pi, so I don't need them on this one since I only have a 64 gig micro SD card in this one. So now we have that, so we're good to close that out, and now we can go on to the next step. So I'm going to just bring this down. I'm going to bring up terminal here. I'll make it a little bigger, and so we're just going to turn that font up to about 30. We'll see how that looks. There we go. Now you can actually read it. It might be a little too big, but that's okay. We can deal with it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to CD into our downloads folder. So we're going to go CD downloads and then ls, and then what we're going to do is type sudo mv PyCharm, and I'm going to hit tab, and it's going to select everything else, and then we're going to move that to our opt folder, and I'm just going to call it PyCharm. So this should rename that whole strip of PyCharm Community 2020.3.3 to just PyCharm. And then I'm going to go ahead and press enter. And now I'm going to go CD, and then I'm going to go CD opt, ls, and then there's our PyCharm folder. So CD PyCharm, and then ls again. Now from here, what we want to make sure we do is go into the bin folder here. So we're just going to go CD bin, ls, and then we have all this stuff in here. Now the one we want in here is the PyCharm.sh. So I'm just going to clear this, and then we're going to go. I don't think I did this before, but for right now I'm going to try it. Sudo and then /PyCharm.sh. I'm going to go ahead and press enter. So it says no valid JDK installation. So let's go ahead and install that. So sudo, let's clear this. So this is on a fresh install Raspberry Pi, so you might come across this issue as well. So we're going to go sudo apt-get install open JDK11 -JDK, and that should be the right one. And then yes, and we'll let it do its thing here. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave any comments or questions below, and I'll be sure to try to respond as soon as I can. Okay, so it looks like our Java JDK is now installed, so we're going to go back to our opt folder. I'm just going to clean that up. So CD /opt, and once again CD PyCharm, and it all depends what you named the folder when you moved it, and then CD bin, and then we're going to do that sudo what was it, PyCharm.sh, and now we should be able to install this. And then we're just going to go I confirm, continue. We're just going with no there. Okay, so from here, usually before what you could do was click on this one and you'd be able to put a link to PyCharm on your Raspberry Pi if it doesn't show up like it doesn't here for me. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna open up a new project. Actually, whoops, hit the wrong one. Let's go to new project. And we're just going to accept this, yes. And then we'll go to create. We're going to load it, let it update all its stuff. And then I will show you exactly where to grab that. Close that. There shouldn't be too much to load because we have not installed anything besides the main Raspberry Pi OS on this Raspberry Pi, so there shouldn't be anything that's going to cause any issues there. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and let this do its thing. When it finishes up here, I will show you what I mean. So right now, I just want to show you that yes, you can still program with PyCharm just like it is here, but a lot of people want the terminal here to be working. And as you can see here, it failed to start, so we're going to have to fix that. And we're going to use that that fix there that I showed you from Martin, and that way we can actually use it. And we'll do a pip install in there and make sure that it's all working here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to let it do its thing there. But for those of you that are looking for how to put that link on your desktop, it's just going to be right here. Create desktop entry, and then create it for everyone. Now we should have PyCharm here, and then we should, I do believe, have one on our desktop here. Nope. So it's just going to install it right under the programming. You're going to have it here. So now you're going to be able to launch it from there instead of waiting for it. So I'm just going to let this run here, and then I'm going to close out this, and then we'll get on to the next part. Okay, so that looks like it's all updated. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to exit out of here. I'm going to bring up my terminal again here. And I'm going to close that out for right at the moment here. And then what he states is to move the files into the lib directory on the application. Okay, so what we want to do is I'm going to open up. Let's close that. So I'm just going to open up a new folder here, and if we go to our opt folder, and we'll go to PyCharm, and then we go to lib, we're going to see this here, and then we want the native folder here. So we have Linux here, but we don't have an ARM folder. What we want to do is we want to add the ARM folder by his example. So we're just going to go to downloads, and we're going to get that lib file here, and then we have this file here, and Linux, and then ARM, and I'm just going to copy and drag that over. I'm not worried about it disappearing because we don't need it anymore. And then in the lib folder here, that should be right here, I'm just going to take this file here and drag it over to here. And it should then allow us to close out all this stuff. This is no longer needed, so we can move that to the trash. That way we don't have any files left over. So I'm just going to close this out, empty my trash can, click on here, go to my PyCharm, and we're just going to go to new project here again and create. So this install is just to get everything working. You can set it up however you want. Going forward in the videos coming up, we will be discussing more things once in a while of what I'll be using on different setups, but for the most part, leaving things how they are is pretty much what you're gonna do. So I do find PyCharm a little bit slower on the machine I'm running it on right now. And that's just due to the fact that my other one is overclocked. So I might overclock this one here to make it a little bit more speedier. Yeah, that's a word. And that way things load up a little bit quicker. But all in all, it's not that bad. Alright, so down below here we're going to open up terminal. And we should have terminal now. As long as I read all his instructions properly, which I could have missed, but and there we go. We have our terminal window. So if we go, let's just install pip install sm bus. I know that's coming up in a project later on, so I'm just gonna check to make sure it works, and it's working absolutely fine. So there we go, that is all done there. I'm just gonna let it do its thing there, but for now that's it. PyCharm is up and running and fully working, so that's what we wanted. So I hope you enjoyed this video on installing PyCharm on your Raspberry Pi. Once again, thank you to Martin for putting this quick and easy patch together instead of us having to do a little workaround like I did on my previous videos. With that being said, thank you for watching everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?